Legacy Maker, the All Sports Network.
Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to one-on-one at Legacy Maker Sports Network.
Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, Darrell Owens, and we are here for another edition of One-on-One here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, the quick ones editions. This is the week 8, and we're giving you our NFL power rankings for week 8. I am excited to be with you all here today for another one. We got a good one tonight. Packers, Cardinals, two of the best teams in the NFL going at it. Cardinals, the only undefeated team left. They're at home for this one. The Packers 6-1 coming into this contest tonight. Should be a good one. As you know, back there, you already see it. So, you know, I'm hyped for the game tonight. We're still trying to see what's going to go down. We don't know how it's going to end. Don't know how it's going to be. You know, a little bit skeptical with the COVID list. You know, got a couple players that were on it. And you know, people are still on it. So it's just, my mind is scrambled. But we'll see how things go tonight to see if the Packers can pull off, I don't want to say the upset, but I guess I would say the upset in this one between two really good teams. We are here, week 8. We are here. Crazy last week. Some games that we probably didn't see going the way we thought they were going to go. The Bengals. Wow, look at the Bengals. We had games like that. We saw the Giants just ransack the Panthers, but we'll get into all of that here as we get into our power rankings here for week 8. And of course, you know how we started off here. You know, we're going to start it off, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get this party rocking and rolling with the bottom. All right, y'all. So here are the bottom teams heading into week 8 of the NFL season. Now, it's this list is shuffled a little bit at the bottom. Some of the teams are kind of still the same. We have one team that continues to drop. Probably have taken the worst drop of anybody on this list. That's the Dolphins at 29. The Dolphins are a team that we had at 13, I believe, maybe 12 at the beginning of the season, and they won their first game. High hopes. They were still making moves, and they have lost every game since. So the Dolphins sitting at 29, probably in a lot of people's eyes, including mine, I had the Dolphins making the playoffs, and that is just not the case now. I don't know what you know, Coach Flores and the crew are going to figure out down there. You know, the Deshaun Watson situation is going to be interesting. And so it's just the Dolphins, right? Just the Dolphins. But anywho, let's get into it. Number 32, the Detroit Lions. Another close game, another opportunity. Had a chance, had the lead at one point, this time against a really good Rams team. And I feel like every week we talk about how good this Lions team could be. And the fact that they probably should have a couple of wins already under their belt, but they just have not been able to figure it out just yet. But I like Dan Campbell. I'm going to keep saying it because I like him as a coach. I like his spirit. I love his energy. And, you know, I hate to see him lose like this, because when a guy that has that much energy and brings so much energy to a team, in my opinion, you hate to see it because you want to see him thrive. You know, I mean, yeah, in the division and all, but I want to see him thrive. I want to see him make leeway. And it's been really hard to watch a team that's been so close. And I feel like when he does get that first victory, a little bit of a weight will be lifted off of his shoulders. We got the Lions at 32. 31, the New York Jets. Then the Jets took a beating to the Patriots, 54-13. The Patriots have not been kind to the Jets this year at all. And both of their games, they have just kind of went in there and just treated them like, you know, the redheaded stepchild in that division. In the first game, it was 25-6. And in this one, it was 54-13. So right now, this season alone, it's like being outscored like 75-20. It just hasn't been cute. And as I feel really bad for them. But the Jets are 1-5. They're number 31 on this list. Next, we got the Texans. They're 1-6 on the season. They're number 30. They the same way, kind of like the Dolphins, won the first game of the season and lost the next 6. Now, losing Tyrod Taylor, in my opinion, has had a lot to do with this. We saw, it felt like this offense felt different with Tyrod at the helm. And Mills Davis has done a really good job, in my opinion, based off of the circumstances. And I think he's come in and done some pretty good things. Unfortunately, it just hasn't happened yet. So just looking into all of that, this Texans team, if they get Tyrod back and rolling, I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they will look better as a team. That veteran presence means a lot. Texans at 30. We talked about the Dolphins. I won't go too deep. The Dolphins are at 29. They're 1-6, just trying to figure it out down there in Miami. At 28, the Jaguars. They were on a bye this week, so they kind of sit where they were. They didn't make any movement in on the bottom. They're 1-5, and this week the Jaguars take on a Seahawks team that is struggling, and not struggling in the just not having Russell Wilson. This is just a different breed, and you can see that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got the Jaguars this week. I'm picking the Jaguars, and I think Seattle's they could win this game, but I don't know. I think the Jaguars are in a better spot, and that's saying a lot. 27, the Giants, 2-5. The Giants with a very impressive victory. Very, very, very impressive victory over the Panthers, winning that one 25-3 at MetLife. And they needed this. The Giants could be 3-4 right now. And they could be in a little bit of a better position than where they are right now. But I like what I've seen from the Giants in that last contest, and see if they can piggyback off of that and see if the Giants, can continue to grow from there. They got Kansas City next week. They win that game, and we continue to see the downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs this season. Man, that's going to be the talk of the town if that does happen. At 26, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, 2-5. That game against the Raiders this week started off looking promising, and then it was just a complete disaster from that point on. The Raiders kind of handled business on that one. They moved to 5-2. They are currently in first place in the division, half a game lead over the Chargers, where the Chargers were on a bye this week. At number 25, the Washington football team lost to the Green Bay Packers. A couple of weird plays in this game, a couple of plays by Taylor Heineke where he had a chance to score. He dove trying to get into the end zone, but his knee touched the ground first. Then on the next play, he tried to jump into the end zone, and the ball is knocked loose. He grabs it and then tries to extend it into the end zone. They said no, he was down to the 1. So it was a couple of plays for this Washington team that could have changed the tide a little bit in this game, but Green Bay was able to hold on and win that contest. Next one, number 24, the Seahawks. Tough game on Monday night against the Saints. Very gritty game in the rain in Seattle. They had their chances. They lost that one 13-10. It just couldn't do it. Just couldn't make it happen. And you can definitely tell the difference when you got Geno Smith in at quarterback and then Russell Wilson. Number 23, the 49ers, another team that had to deal with the slop bowl, if you want to call it that. Just rain all over the place. In that matchup with the Colts on Sunday night. Colts won that one 30-18, and the 49ers now sit at 2-4. That last play of the game when Jimmy was last couple possession when Jimmy was trying to throw it down the field, and you can see the ball just slip out of his hand. There was nothing he can do about it. That's how bad the conditions were. 49ers at 23. 22, the Bears, 3-4 on the season, and the Bears just got, it was hard to watch. If you're a Bears fan, playing the Bucs 38-3, and poor Justin Fields, he doesn't deserve this. If Andy Dalton is healthy, I would have never let Justin Fields start right away. Let Andy Dalton, keep things under wraps or whatever. Just give Justin that time to grow and learn. He's made some decent plays here and there, but I'm afraid that his confidence may get shot there in Chicago. At 21, the Kansas City Chiefs. And this one, we had the Chiefs number 2. The Chiefs were number 2 on this list at the beginning of the season. Now they sit at 21 at 3-4. A really miserable loss to the Titans on Sunday, losing 27-3. And, they lost Mahomes in the contest. He was throwing picks, and the team just looks out of sync. I do not know what's going on there. I don't know what Andy Reid's going to have to do to fix that thing, but the defense is miserable. They're the worst defense in the league. They've got to figure it out. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the bottom. All right, so that's the bottom of our power rankings coming into week 8. And now it's time for the outside looking in. So here we go, outside looking in. Patriots at number 20 at 3-4 destroyed the Jets. Almost too easy at certain times. Mac Jones looked phenomenal in this contest. But like I said, the Jets are still a team that lost to Zach Wilson in this game. And, they had Mike White in there, and it just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough. Number 19, the Carolina Panthers on a 4-game losing streak. And to be honest with you, I almost put them lower on the list because of how they lost to the Giants. But Sam Darnold just didn't look like himself. And then we even heard earlier this week trade talks of, Deshaun Watson heading there or potential, he was in the mix there. So it's crazy stuff. The deadline being on November the 2nd. So I was kind of blown away by that. 18, the Broncos, another team that's lost 4 in a row, had a chance to win that game against the Browns. They lost 17-14 last Thursday night. And the Broncos games, even though they've lost 4 in a row, they've been kind of tight contests. They just haven't been able to pull it off. Just haven't been able to pull them off. 17, the Falcons. I know my man Danny Thompson is going to be happy that they're creeping up on our list. They started off so low. They were at 32 at one point. Now they're 3-3. Now they're making moves. I like what I'm seeing from the Atlanta Falcons. See if they can continue that momentum. Now this week, Atlanta takes on the Panthers, a Panthers team that is struggling. And now that the Falcons are in 3rd place in that division, a win could see them creeping them a little bit further up. And so all the people that were thinking that it's over for Matt Ryan and the Falcons, they're starting to prove them wrong just a little bit. At 16, the Indianapolis Colts, another team where people thought it was just looking like it was going to be a bad spot for the Colts. But the Colts have played well the last couple of weeks. They've got 2 victories in the last couple of weeks. They should have 3 victories. They should have beat the Ravens. They should be 4-3. But I'm not even going to get into that, being up 22-3 in Baltimore and giving it away. Man, Coach, you should be so much higher on this list. So that is our outside looking in. Patriots at 20, Panthers at 19, Broncos at 18, Falcons at 17, and Colts at 16. So now that we've hit the outside looking in, we're swinging on to our top 15. At number 15, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh 3-3 coming into this week. And this Pittsburgh team had a bye last week. So, no damage done last week in any form or the fashion. So we'll see what Pittsburgh can do this week against a Browns team who is trying to get their footing back, trying to figure out all these injuries and see what they can do. And so Mike Tomlin feeling questions about, becoming the next head coach of USC. And he put those rumors to bed. He put those rumors to bed on Tuesday real quick. So Pittsburgh 3-3 at number 15 for us. Next at number 14, the Minnesota Vikings, another team that was on the bye this week. They're 3-3. They got a tough one against Dallas this week. They win this one, they're going to definitely start to inch their way up in this bad boy. I like the Minnesota team when they can stay healthy. And that's saying a lot coming from this guy because you know how much I don't like the Minnesota Vikings, but if they can stay healthy and keep Dalvin Cook fresh and not on the injury report, or at least being out on the injury report, they've got a chance to make noise, but that's only if they can make that happen. At 13, the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, a much-needed win against the Broncos on Thursday night last week. They definitely needed it. They're 4-3, and they're going to try to crawl their way back into the top 10 here soon. At number 12, the New Orleans Saints 4-2, coming off of a very tough victory over the Seattle Seahawks. They're at number 12, trying to get themselves back into the top 10, but they're sitting at 4-2. They're second in that division behind the Bucs, and Jameis Winston and the crew trying to, get themselves where they need to be. They had Smith come back. Traquan Smith came back last week. Not really producing anything, but maybe that'll change as the season goes along. And to see soon, maybe they get Michael Thomas back and things really change for the New Orleans Saints. At number 11, the Los Angeles Chargers. They were on a bye this week. They're 4-2, so they really don't they lose a spot, but only because they've been out. So see how they do this week. The Chargers will be taking on a Patriots team that is trying to continue their momentum. So we'll see how that one goes out there in LA. Number 10, the Baltimore Ravens, coming off a miserable defeat to the Cincinnati Bengals. So obviously Cincinnati is up a little bit higher on this list because last week Baltimore was number one on at least on the AFC power rankings here on 101. So Baltimore drops down to 10, but they're still 5-2. But the Bengals, number one in the AFC North. Wow, and more wow. But Baltimore this season's still kind of young, so we're at the midway point. Not stressing about Baltimore. Number 9, the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought the Las Vegas Raiders were a game away from being where the Broncos and and the Panthers were on those 4-game winning streaks, but they're 2-0 since losing Gruden, and they looked very impressive against an Eagles team on Sunday. So Vegas continued to mosey right along, and to see if this Raiders team can continue their growth here. They got a bye this week, so we'll see what they can do in week 9. Number 8, the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo also on a bye this week, just sitting there chilling. They didn't move any spot. They're exactly where they were last week. But Buffalo have the Dolphins this week, so I see them more likely getting a dub this week and maybe moving up on the power rankings. Number 7, and the number 2 team in the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati, impressive victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. And then some people are like, well, not the Kansas City Chiefs, over the Baltimore Ravens. That's our next team on the count there, and they got the big win over the Chiefs. But Cincinnati has really shown up and showed out. They could easily be 6-1 if they had won against the Packers. So, the Cincinnati team is really good, and they're offensively, they've been phenomenal. So Zach Taylor and the guys, I think his job is safe if they continue this way for at least one more season. Number 6, the Tennessee Titans. Right now, the number 1 team in the AFC here on this power ranking, and they're 5-2. They've looked really good, and the way they played against Pat Mahomes and the crew, it was just like, it was just too easy. I never thought I would say that against Kansas City, but it was just too easy for Tennessee, and they won that one 27-3. Now we hit the top 5. The Dallas Cowboys at number 5. So Dallas sits here, and, they were off last week, so they're 5-1. They did lose a couple slots. They lost 2 slots, but that's only because the 3 and 4 teams won, and Dallas wasn't playing. So I don't expect Dallas fans, don't get mad. It's just that's where they are right now because of the buys and all that stuff. But they're still in the top 5, and from what they've done so far in the season. Number 4, the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams very, very, they looked really good at least the second half versus the Lions, but the Lions gave them a run. And the Lions was really trying to give Jared Goff a W in LA, maybe a little revenge factor, but LA, just too much LA Rams, and they win. They're the number 4 team on this power rankings, and they're 6-1 on the season. Number 3, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Washington football team in Lambeau to move to 6-1 on the season, 6 straight victories. The team looks very confident right now, definitely dealing with a lot of COVID issues. Going into tonight's game, no Joe Barry. So we'll see, what this team will look like as we get closer and closer to game time. But the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals thinks that the Packers will play really well, even with, potentially without Devontae Adams and all that going into tonight, because they said Aaron throws the ball better and plays better when he has to divvy it up. So we'll see. Packers at number 3. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 6-1, and just an onslaught victory, just a beatdown of the Chicago Bears. They thought about last season's game, and I told my man Jay on the podcast last week, I just don't trust this game because I feel like the Bucs are going to go in there. Tom Brady doesn't forget stuff like that, and so I was not surprised at the way things went in that contest. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at number 2, and at number 1, the only undefeated team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. This is the only time so far this season that I've picked against the Packers in my pick'em, and I picked the Arizona Cardinals to win this contest. They're at home, and as much of a Green Bay fan, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but this Arizona team is really talented on both sides of the ball. All right, y'all, that is our power rankings for this week. So I know you guys are excited. Before we give you our mid-season MVP top 5, let's go back through real quick. First at the bottom, the Lions 32, the Jets 31, the Texans 30, the Dolphins 29, the Jaguars 28, the Giants at 27, the Eagles 26, the Washington football team at 25, the Seattle Seahawks 24, the 49ers 23, the Bears 22, and the Chiefs at 21. Then on the outside looking in, you got the Patriots at 20, the Panthers at 19, the Broncos at 18, the Falcons at 17, and the Colts at 16. Then we hit our top 15. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sitting in at number 15 on the countdown. They've been really good so far this season. I love what I've seen from Pittsburgh. We got them at number 15. At number 14 on the countdown, we've got the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have played really well. I love what I've seen from Minnesota so far. They just continue to they grow the last couple of weeks. Then we've got the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are sitting at number 13. With a win on Thursday night, we'll see what the Browns can do as they head into week number 8. Then we've got the Saints at 12, the Chargers at 11, the Ravens at 10, the Raiders at 9, the Bills at 8, the Bengals at 7, the Tennessee Titans at 6, the Dallas Cowboys at 5, the Rams at 4, the Green Bay Packers at 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 2, and at number 1, the Arizona Cardinals. So now before we get off of here, it's time to give you my power ranking list here. Not the power ranking list, excuse me. My mind is all over. I'm excited about this game tonight. But let me go ahead and give you my mid-season or / way too early top 5 MVPs heading into week 8. Right now, Joe Burrow at number 5. Burrow, a very, 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 very impressive game against this Ravens team last week. And now this week, they sit in and they set themselves ready to chop up the Jets and go to 6-2 and continue to make a name for themselves in this season. At number 4, Josh Allen. Josh Allen kind of took a break this week, so, we're just kind of sitting out and see how things go from there. Number 3, Dak Prescott. Prescott has been absolutely amazing so far this season. He takes a small step back because he didn't play last week, kind of like Allen. At number 2, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, the highest he's been on our MVP list so far this season. He has run the ball like an absolute monster the entire season. Only 86 yards last week, but he also threw for a passing touchdown. So, and everybody said, well, the MVP is a quarterback award. Well, Derrick Henry said, I'm going to find a way to get in there. He threw his own touchdown last week. And number 1, still at number 1, been at number 1 for the last couple of weeks, Kyler Murray. That is our top 5 MVP candidates after week 7 as we head into week 8. All right, everybody, I'm your man, Darrell Owens. I hope you are all out there enjoying football. I hope you continue to enjoy football as we enter week 8, man. Why is this season going by so fast, man? Week 17, week 18, and the playoffs will be here before you know it. But until then, we'll see y'all guys next week for week 9. We'll see you at the start of week 9 on Thursday to give you our week 9 power rankings. Wow, week 9 already. It's going to be crazy. It's flying by, y'all. It's flying by. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. This has been 1-on-1 here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network. Until next time, peace.
One. Welcome to the 1-on-1. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one.